The breaking point. The room felt suffocating, the air thick with the remnants of a shattered trust that lingered between us. My fingers trembled as they hovered over the divorce papers, the cold, smooth surface of the manila envelope beneath them reminding me of how little control I had left in my own life. Stanley stood there, watching me with those unblinking eyes, like he had already made up his mind about me, like I was nothing more than a distant memory to him now. His presence loomed over me, oppressive and undeniable, and the scent of his cologne felt heavy, cloying, wrapping around me like a noose. I could hear my heartbeat in my ears, each thud a painful reminder of the choices I had made, the lies I had told. How had it all come to this? How had I let myself fall so far? Sign it, Stanley said, his voice still eerily calm, the quiet rage simmering just beneath the surface. You don't have any other option, Sylvia. His words were like a slap in the face, each one cutting deeper than the last. I swallowed hard, trying to calm the rising panic inside me, but it was futile. The weight of everything I had done pressed down on me, suffocating me in a way I couldn't escape. I looked at him then, really looked at him, and saw something I hadn't seen before. A man broken, betrayed, hurt beyond measure. It wasn't just anger I saw in his eyes anymore. There was something deeper. Something cold, something final. I didn't want this, I whispered, my voice barely a breath, but even as the words left my mouth, I knew they were too little, too late. Does it even matter anymore? His tone was biting, as if each word was a bullet aimed directly at me. You had your chance, Sylvia. And you blew it. I could feel the sting of his words, each one landing with precision, cutting through the last remnants of my resolve. The taste of salt, tears I hadn't allowed myself to shed, began to rise in my throat. But I refused to let them fall. Not now. Not when I was so close to losing everything. I'm sorry, I choked out, but it felt hollow. The sound of my own voice was like a foreign thing, something I didn't recognize, something that didn't belong to me. What was I apologizing for? I had no right to ask for his forgiveness. Stanley's expression darkened further, his jaw tightening as if he were fighting some internal battle of his own. He stepped closer, his presence overwhelming. The heat of his body radiated toward me, and for a moment I thought he might reach out and touch me. But he didn't. He stayed distant, as if my very presence repulsed him now. Sign it, Sylvia, he repeated, his voice colder than before. This is your last chance. I stared at the papers in front of me, my vision swimming as the overwhelming scent of paper and ink filled my senses, mingling with the bitter taste of betrayal in the air. My hands shook violently, the envelope a physical reminder of everything I had lost. Of what I was about to lose. I could feel the tears welling up, threatening to spill over, but I held them back. I wouldn't let him see me break. Not now. Not when he had already taken everything from me. You don't understand, I whispered hoarsely, my voice cracking under the weight of the moment. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. You have to believe me. Believe you. Stanley scoffed, his voice a low growl. I've watched you lie to me for months. Watched you betray me with him. Don't you dare ask me to believe you now. The air between us thickened, crackling with the tension of all the words unsaid, all the things we would never be able to take back. I felt like I was drowning, my lungs struggling to take in air, but each breath was too heavy. He was right. I had destroyed everything we had. Every lie, every stolen moment had led us here. And there was no going back. I turned my gaze to the envelope again, my fingers brushing against the cold surface. The paper felt like it had been burned into my skin, leaving an imprint that would never fade, no matter how much I wanted it to. This is it, Sylvia, Stanley said, his voice quieter now, almost too quiet. One last choice. Walk away and save yourself, or stay and lose everything. The silence that followed was deafening. It felt like an eternity, the weight of his words sinking deeper into my soul with every passing second. I could feel the crushing pressure of my choices, the finality of it all. I opened the envelope, my fingers numb against the edges, and pulled out the divorce papers. The ink on the page blurred before my eyes, the words swirling together into a meaningless mess. My mind was screaming for me to do something, anything, but my body was frozen, paralyzed by the gravity of the decision in my hands. The USB drive was still tucked inside, the cold, metallic surface mocking me, reminding me of how easily everything could be exposed. The weight of it felt like a lead weight around my neck, suffocating me. What had I done? What had I become? I never wanted this to happen, I whispered again, my voice breaking completely this time. Stanley didn't respond. He just stood there, waiting. The seconds stretched into an eternity, and I could hear nothing but the pounding of my own heart, the raw sound of my betrayal reverberating in the room. I took a deep breath and reached for the pen.